What's going on, my fellow Chiefs and faithful members of the D Clan? I am back with my review of Him, starring Marlon Wayne and the new guy, Cam, the guy playing Cam. Well, the movie starts out with Cam as a child. He's watching Marlon Wayne character playing football as a child, and he gets injured on the field. And then Cam's father encouraged him, say, "Hey, you see that man right there? That's greatness right there. All right, because he's going to bounce back from that," and which he obviously did. So some years go by. Cam's father passes away, and Cam becomes this great football player. And he's doing dominating on the college scene, and now he's waiting to get drafted in the NFL. Whereas he's training for his tryout for the NFL, he gets he was at his college track, and he was practicing by himself and throwing the ball, and he was also doing his accuracy by hitting the field goal. When he went to go pick the ball up, a crazy looking guy, dressed up, disguised as a mascot, hits him in the back of the head, gives him a concussion. He goes to the hospital and he gets tested, and the doctor said, hey, if he takes another hit like that, then he can possibly die or he'll never play football again. So of course he's depressed. His mother, his brother, and his girlfriend, all of them are comforting him. And after they comfort him, he goes to a party with his brother and his girlfriend. And he gets a phone call from his agent. So he walks away. And matter of fact, before that, he was supposed to go try out for the NFL, but when he was going to get his hair cut, the barber nipped him on the stitches, and it opened his wound. So he didn't try out again because he started bleeding from the wound. Now, after that, he goes to a party with his brother and his girlfriend, and he gets a phone call. He walks away into the bathroom. And it's his agent telling him, look, you got one more chance. They want to give you a chance. You've been waiting for this your whole life. His brother and his girlfriend come into the bathroom, and his brother's like, it's more good news. It's more good news. And he says, yes, he's going for the tryout. So he goes to the tryout, and he turns down this dirt road like they're in the desert. And then some crazy girl and some other fans, I guess they don't like him, started beating on the door of the car, and she spat on the door, and that was nasty. And then a highway patrolman steps in and grabs the girl of the car and says, hey, stop that. So he gets to, I guess, this stadium or the place of residence or the training ground or whatever. He gets there, he puts his stuff down, and then you start hearing some type of bamming. Boom, boom, boom. And when he kept on looking, is Marlon Wayne's character. And he's hammering down something. But you look on the walls, you see faces of animals and bones of animals on the wall. He's like, you shot these? He was like, yeah. So basically, he just greeted him. Told him a little bit about what's happened, asked him if he was ready for it, and this and this and that. You've been training for this for your whole life. I actually saw your last college game. You did good. So here we go into the initiation process, right? They started training, and as they're training, you see small snippets of symbolism in the movie. I started noticing what's the word I'm looking for? I started noticing Norse symbolisms in the movie. Norse god symbolism, that ancient writing symbolism, stuff like that. Then you start noticing the Baphomet. So as he's training, they shooting him. You would think it's like some type of adrenaline, because he's still recovering from the head injury and stuff like that. So as they're training, he then invited some other draft picks to the game to start training. There's one white guy, as he was training, standing in front of the ball of this machine where they take the football and they put it in the middle of it, and it zip. It's really like a practice for quarterbacks to catch the ball And so, but he's standing in front of it and he's allowing the ball to hit him in the face, in the nose, but beating him up, bust his teeth out his mouth. So it's putting a lot of pressure on Cam to hurry up, close your eyes. When he say hut, and he open his eyes, catches the ball, and he makes a complete pass. But the more incomplete passes he make, the more football that guy takes, zipping him in the face. Pop. So he was basically able to, make enough passes in order for it to stop. And some weird stuff started happening after that. He started noticing, like, something ain't right with these guys. Something is off here. So he can continue getting training. Then he goes for a run in the desert. When he goes for the run, he passes out. He started puking first. I don't know if he was dehydrated, but really, it's that stuff he was shooting in his body. So after he started rushing the stuff out of his body, then you see Marlon Wayne's character. He came back and checked on him, made sure he was good, and I guess he gave him maybe some Gatorade or something, some hydrating drink. So he brings him back. He said, "Hey, go ahead and rest for the rest of the day, man." But then they started taunting him to rest. But then they got him back to practice. After they got him back into practice, long story short, they get him so hyped up, he then critically injures one of the other ball players. Hits him in the head. Direct contact, helmet to helmet in the head. Boom! He even broke that guy's hand, and he had a mad concussion. Then the other ball players and Marlon Wayans came and surrounded the guy, and they started singing. I said, yeah, see, this is the initiation process right here. Then it continues. Marlon Wayans' wife in the movie is a white woman. She then tries to seduce Cam into having sex with some of the girls. I don't think he did. They just show him taking off his clothes. He's in his underwear and stuff like that. I don't think he did because when the scene switches, Marlon Wayans asked him about it. Why you ain't had sex with none of the girls? And he said, man, I'm being faithful to my girl. He said, man, won't you be telling these girls no? I'm like, what you mean don't be telling these girls no? That man said he want to stay faithful. Let him stay faithful. Well, it continues. After he passes the training, they then have him go to this party. Now, he wasn't going to go because he originally told Marlon Wayne's wife that he said, man, I'm just going to stay here for the night. I'm going to relax. Relax and get me some more rest. She said, well, there's this party. There's going to be a lot of famous people there, and they would really like to meet you, He said, well, you should have led with that then. So he goes to the party. Oh, let me back up. I missed another thing. The doctor. There was a doctor. And he was trying to give hints for Cam to run. And he wouldn't just come out and say it. But it didn't take a rocket science to figure out that the doctor was trying to warn Cam that something is going on and something is up. All right, so now he goes to the party. It looked like an old rundown hotel. He said, I thought you said it's a party. She said it is. She says it's in the back. The place is real dark, real dim, low red lights. And it is, in fact, indeed a party in the back. In the back of the club, there's a whole bunch of lights and a lot of symbols, satanic symbols. I'm like, okay, it's all making sense now. And they then start speaking to him, and then the doctor is in a suit partying, and the doctor hugs him and said, run. Next thing you know, they killed the doctor. Next thing you know, they killed the doctor. And they hacked the doctor's head off. I said, oh, shucks, they killed the doctor. I said, because the doctor, they probably got wind that the doctor was trying to help him. Well, when he goes back, he's in a body of ice. And they have an IV attached to him. He snatches the IV out. And he crawls to the injection shot to give him some strength. Like I said, at this time I thought it was, some type of insulin, not insulin, type of adrenaline shot. But on the shot, the doctor wrote on there, "Run." But I don't think he sees it or reads it because he's jacked up. His body is sore. He's in pain. He started puking out again. So he takes the shot. He gets up, and then he walks to this dark room. He walks into the room, and Marlon Wayans is in the room. The room is dark. It has an eye on the top of the ceiling. And basically, Marlon Wayans comes clean and says, "Yeah, I've been giving you my blood this whole time. But not just my blood." He shows an old Browns. Of course, it's not in the film, but it looks like a Cleveland Browns jersey, and there's some other jerseys. I gave you his blood, and his blood, and his blood. You should feel it. An animal was inside of you now, right? He says, "If you want it, you have to take it." So they fight. And long story short, Cam kills Marlon Wayans, making him the new chosen one. So he goes through the door, and after he goes through the door, it's a football field filled with cheerleaders, and then some five different men with animal masks and satanic masks and stuff like that over their faces. And Marlon Wayans' wife is sitting there, and she's telling him, "Hey, come on, let's sign the Tron contract." They said, "How did you get here?" "Your father." They have a picture of him and his father and the agent, his old agent, on the side of the table next to the contract. And he's looking at it, the picture. And they say, "Yeah, your father wants you to have this." And that's when the light bulb clicked. His father and his family sold him out to the other side. And when they sold him out to the other side, the contract was for him to be obsessed and do nothing but football. Have him eat, sleep, and use the bathroom thinking nothing but football. And that's when he figured out that his father died, sacrificing himself for him to have this extravagant life. And he refuses to sign. He grabs the hammer that was on the ground and kills everybody. After he kills everybody, Marlon Wayans' wife, she gets up, she trips and misses and stabs herself with a knife. So the last one living was the agent. And the agent was like, "Man, go ahead and cut off my throat, man." Because first he was begging for his life, then he quit. But he doesn't kill him. Cam doesn't kill him. And when he refused to kill him, the agent body got suckered into the middle of the Baphomet circle. And then he is killed by the devil. And then Cam is seen walking away from the scene. And then the movie goes off. Guys, I wouldn't bring children to see this movie. Like I said, the sex scene wasn't bad, but there is some nudity. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the movie is R-rated, so I wouldn't bring kids to see this movie. But overall, Jordan Peele did his thing yet again. Now, I've been looking on Rotten Tomatoes when I got at the theater. Rotten Tomatoes hasn't given it a good score. But guys, go see it for yourself and come up with your own opinion. So guys, comment down below. Tell me how you like my review for this movie. Tell me, guys, what you thought about it. If you have seen it, like, comment, and subscribe. 5,000 subscribers. Hooray. Hold on. One more scene I want to tell you guys. I wasn't going to spoil this one, but there is another desert scene where Marlon Wayans was shooting. He was shooting helmets and stuff like that. And they did a wager. Marlon Wayans said, "Hey, if you make this shot, I'll give you everything. Houses, land, money, women, cars, I'll give it all to you. But if you lose, I'll take your youth." I was like, huh? Uh-oh. Cam looks at Marlon Wayans and he says, "Nah, I want to work for everything I get. And I had a number of respect when he said that, right? And he says, if I miss this shot, then I won't take your number one quarterback slot from you next year. Marlon Wayans didn't like that when he said that. And he makes the shot. So guys, like I said, it is a good movie. Comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys do anything else, if you guys want to make a comment, then please give this video a like. It'll be a good help in the algorithm and help YouTube boost my videos up, get my name out there. So guys, 5,000 subscribers. Correct.